And I believe that in life, we are all, as individuals, in search of meaning, fulfillment, but most of all, I would say that we're all in search of some sort of happiness. Now, I'll try to be very precise with my words, because personally, and this comes with some degree of experience in the matter, I think that happiness is a concept which can be very misleading, and a quest for it can definitely leave you astray in life if you're not careful. I think the widespread notion that people just want and should be happy is only partially true. The reason being is that I think most people don't actually really understand happiness. And the truth, as I see it at least, is very simple. And there are two common forms of happiness, but they're not equal in their rewards. There is the fleeting instant pleasure, and then there is the lasting confidence filling form of happiness, which comes from overcoming a degree of adversity. And so my hypothesis is that you should pursue on a daily and continuous basis, as much as you can, this second form of happiness, the lasting one. Now, let's define the terms a bit more. Let's talk a bit about instant gratification. I think we're all well aware that there are ways in life in which we can instantly up our levels of quote-unquote happiness by engaging in activities which will trigger a dopamine release in our brain. So drugs, video games, sex, greedy eating, Netflix, for example, these are all activities that can do this for you. And just to make things very clear, I'm not saying that either or any of these things or activities are bad. In fact, some of them are most definitely good for you to some extent. But what is bad is believing that these activities are really the be-all and end-all of life, when in reality the pleasing sensation of partaking in them disappears really quickly after the fact. Many people who don't really understand the second form of happiness, the lasting one that I'll speak about, consequently tend to equate happiness or their entire life's goal to attaining instantly gratifying things on a consistent basis. And then they're left confused as to why they're never fully satisfied. So think about an exam, for example. How good does it feel to get a good grade when you've actually worked for it and deserved it? I'm sure to some extent everyone in their life has worked hard and well at something and achieved the result they were after. And we all know that this creates a lasting feeling of happiness, one that you can actually look back on and cherish with pride. And what I like about the exam example is that you could realistically achieve the exact same grade by cheating. And the cynical people of the world will try and convince themselves that cheating is actually more worthwhile because you spend less time, well, generally speaking. Sometimes cheating can be a bit of work in itself, but you spend less time for the same reward. And the difference here is that it's not really the same reward, is it, though? Only the trickster or the ignorant, the fool, would think it is. Because the truth is that they know that what they did is unfulfilling, and they will just try and bring you down with them to their level. And the reason why cheating, and cheating is just one example here, is not a worthwhile activity, is because you do not put yourself on the line. There's no sense of self-worth and pride which comes from cheating at anything. And even though you achieved the exact same material result, the mental or psychological result is completely different. And this leads us to an interesting conclusion. The material things you have will not define your levels of happiness and personal fulfillment by themselves. They may help, but they should never be the be-all and end-all. What matters is actually the process, the how of how you achieved these things. So now think about this. What worries me a little today is that I think that through our phones, internet, TV, whatever it is, new technology, humans in general, and even like really quite poor humans, have access to more forms of instant gratification than the wealthiest humans who lived 100 years ago probably ever did in their entire lives. And I think this is something one really needs to think about the psychological effect this can have on modern day humans. And I think that today, more than ever, it has really become important to educate people on the power of hard work and delayed gratification. Because without this education, the natural instinct of any living being is to do the least possible work to get the most possible pleasure. And I think that as humans, we really have the privilege of being able to see through this deceit. We have the free will to decide to overcome an instant urge or desire, to think about the long term. And this is a truly powerful tool we have at our disposal. And this is where I'll leave you today. So an easy goal to follow in life is to pursue things which are hard, which are complicated, avoid the easy pleasures of life. They will just trick you into a state of continuous laziness and depression. Don't be fooled by your instincts. Don't be an animal. Use your mind to learn to embrace difficulty, and a fulfilling life most likely awaits. Alright guys, well, the video has come to an end, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the talk and the painting. Have a good one, and catch you next time. Bye-bye.